I didn't want to be gay, and the main voices in my head were just telling me, you'll get through this, you'll get through this.
Hey guys, welcome back to another shared news. We've got all you need to know on Colton's new Netflix docu-series, Coming Out Colton. But before we get into that, make sure you guys are subscribed to our channel and ring the bell so you never miss out on any future Bachelor updates. As always, I am your host, Zachary Reality, and the trailer has dropped for Coming Out Colton. It's going to be a 6-episode docu-series following the life of Colton Underwood as he has come out of the closet as a Christian, midwestern, white football player. There is a lot to dive in. There's also Bachelor stuff. His ex, Cassie, is messy, that situation. He totally crossed the line and harassed her. We got a lot to talk about. So Colton came out of the closet earlier this year and had a very long battle with his sexuality as he grew up in a midwestern household where he was a Christian and a football player. Colton often asked himself, how am I supposed to be a football player and be gay? Well, lucky for him, he's not the first professional football player to be gay. Michael Sam will also be joining Colton in the docu-series to give him some advice, as well as gay Olympian skier and Colton's friend Gus Kenworthy will also be there every step of the way during this process. I was excited to see Michael Sam in the trailer this morning when I watched it. I remember Michael Sam coming out of the closet and that being a huge deal for the community, for the LGBTQ community, but also for the football community. So I think it's great that they have him in this Netflix series because he's going to be able to give a lot of advice to Colton because that was one of his big questions. How could I be a football player and be gay? And I mean, I think that stereotype needs to just go out the window. You could be an athlete and be gay. You could be straight and be an athlete. Like, it doesn't have to be that black and white. Colton admits that he never thought he would come out, but he knew he had to deal with his demons. He actually thought he was going to die with this secret, but Colton ended up coming out of the closet earlier this year in April on Good Morning America after being charged with a restraining order from his ex-girlfriend he met on The Bachelor for stalking and harassment, Cassie Randolph.
The reason I'm coming out is because I'm ashamed and I'm sort of mortified of what got me to this position in the first place.
He tells the camera he is going to be addressing his wrongdoings with his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Randolph. Yeah, this is messy, and I think this is the reason why a lot of Bachelor fans, or just people in general, are having trouble supporting Colton with this series, giving him a platform to share his story. Because while Colton has a great story that needs to be told, I mean, he is a football player, Christian, Midwest, came out of the closet, was the Bachelor. I mean, it's fascinating. It's important to hear that story. It's important to learn about his journey as, you know, someone who's in the community myself. However, the whole harassment and restraining order and stalking and tracking device situation with Cassie Randolph really makes it hard to support him and really makes it hard to support this series because that's definitely, it's not okay under any circumstance what he did to Cassie.
I put a poor girl through hell of my own insecurities.
Cassie filed a restraining order against you. You went off the rails.
I was starting to hurt other people outside of just myself.
And it sucks that that had to happen and that had to lead him to coming out and lead him to what ultimately, you know, gave him the confidence or the realization to come out. You know, he says that he had to hit rock bottom, and hitting rock bottom was doing what he did to Cassie, where he, you know, was sending alleged text messages and whatever he did to her that, you know, prompted her to get a restraining order to protect herself. Definitely crossed the line, and that is what it took because he was trying so hard to be straight that he was willing to go through whatever efforts it took to save that relationship with Cassie so he can prove to the world that he was straight. Definitely not okay, but he is going to be addressing it in his docu-series and explaining his side of the story and just whatever he can share. Cassie does not want to be involved in this. I remember when he came out of the closet in April, Cassie did not address this situation at all. She did talk about on her YouTube channel that she was okay. She was being very vague. She did not mention Colton's name. She did say that she was doing okay, and that if she wanted to address the situation, she would address it on her YouTube channel, but that's not what she wants to do. Cassie Randolph is now in a happy relationship with a new boyfriend. I mean, I can't even imagine how frustrating that was for Cassie to be in a relationship with a gay man for 2 years, let alone what he did to her towards the end of the relationship. Like, justice for Cassie. I hope that she's getting a check out of this Netflix deal because Colton is going to be making bank, and Cassie definitely deserves a portion of that for everything she has went through. And I'm sure she ended up getting a portion from the restraining order because she ended up dropping it, which I'm glad that she did, because at the end of the day, Colton made many mistakes, but he's not a bad person at the end of the day, and I don't want to say that he deserves a second chance because that's not up for me to decide, but I'm interested to hear what else he's going to say in his docu-series and how he's going to address the situation. And he's going to be owning up to it and taking accountability, and it's going to really kind of show what kind of man he is, because we all make mistakes in life, and it really is how you learn and grow from those mistakes that really define you as a human being. And Colton has a lot of learning and growing to do, so maybe we'll see more about that in the 6-part episode series. And Cassie, as I mentioned, will not be in the series. However, another girl from Colton's season will be in the series, Onyeka. Onyeka was most known during Colton's season for her feud with Nicole. I don't know if you guys remember that, if you guys are Bachelor fans. And she was also hilarious in Bachelor in Paradise. She was one of my favorites. She also did a YouTube series with Netflix where she dated like Harry Jowsey. It was like Match Me If You Can, like an episode. It was just like an episode YouTube series. So Onyeka is a personality, okay? She is funny, she is vibrant, she is hilarious, and she is going to be having a scene or 2 scenes with Colton during the docuseries. This is going to be interesting. I wonder what she will say, because she dated Colton on The Bachelor. I mean, we heard, some things Hannah Brown said about dating Colton. A couple of the other girls, Demi has been pretty vocal about dating Colton from the show, but Onyeka, like, confronting Colton or whatever it is, their conversation that's going to be in the series will be interesting, because he was the Bachelor and he led women on. He knew he was gay. He was struggling with his sexuality during the season, but he still led 25 to 30 women on and pretended he was straight, so much so that he went on this dating show thinking that all these women thought they were marrying him. So it's just like Colton really like got carried away with hiding in the closet. And like, as from my experience as a gay male, like obviously I am different than Colton, but I never like dated women. I never pretended to be straight, especially over the age of 18. So I mean, I'm most interested to hear about Colton's like staying in the closet in his 20s, because most of my friends and most gay people I know, like especially in this generation, we come out younger because it's more accepted now, it's more talked about now. But Colton kept this secret until he was like 26, 27. So I couldn't even imagine living my adult life in the closet. So I'm interested what he's going to have to say about those years and like just like what that was like as far as like being a gay man and like hiding that secret. He's going to talk a lot about coming out to his father, which was the hardest thing for him. And as I mentioned earlier, he has Gus going to be with him along for the way. Gus is the Olympian skier, and he's going to be with Colton every single step of the way in this docu-series, guiding Colton. Colton's going to be meeting some drag queens in this docu-series. There's going to be a lot of juicy and interesting and fascinating and funny, hilarious moments in this docu-series, and a lot of heart and a lot of tears. And it's really up to you guys if you want to watch it and support it, because I know a lot of people will be triggered from what he did to Cassie, and just hearing him talk about it could trigger a lot of people. So I get if you guys don't want to watch it and if you don't want to support Colton, but if you want to know what goes down in the series, definitely come back here to Shared News. We will give an update. We will let you know what you missed if you don't feel comfortable watching it. And, everyone's coming out stories are different, as Colton says in the trailer, and he is grateful to be able to add his story to the conversation. Coming Out Colton is streaming on Netflix Friday, December 3rd. So let me know if you guys are going to be watching the series, how you feel about it. If you're not watching it, that is okay as well. We completely understand. Let us know in the comments what you guys think, and we will be back to give you guys an update. And before you guys go, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell, because we'll be back with more Bachelor news. As always, I am your host, Zachary Reality. My social media handles are on the screen right now. You guys can give me a follow at Zachary Reality. And that is all I have for today. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.